welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I have got 40 items for your pantry that you can still get for under $1. So today I headed off to the grocery store, and I definitely, looking at the prices in the grocery store, I was like, these prices are just going crazy and more crazy every time. So I challenged myself to see how many items I could get for under $1 that I can put up in my pantry to have for later on, or at least to make inexpensive meals. So the variety has definitely shrunk in the last year, and you all know that. But today I went in and I was able to get 40 items, and the total was $29.53. So every item was under $1. I didn't get anything that was even $1. It was all underneath. 98 cents was the most expensive thing that I purchased, and that was pasta. So, and they only had a couple of different shapes that were actually under $1. Some of even the great value stuff has gone up over $1. So let's get into this, and I'm going to show you 40 things that I was able to get today, April 10th, 2023, for under $1. And just to give ideas to help everybody keep that pantry, building it up, because you want that pantry to be as full as possible. So name brand stuff was pretty much off the table, just so you know. Everything is great value brand, and which is fine with me. We eat a lot of great value brand because that's what we can afford. And so the first thing I got here is the instant potatoes, just plain old buttery instant potatoes. They only had one flavor in the great value brand, and it was the only one under $1. I think they were 88 cents or 89 cents, but you could still get them. So that works out great. Having instant potatoes are wonderful for all sorts of stuff. You can use this to thicken soups. You can use it for as a bed underneath soups. You can put mashed potatoes down, put your soup on top of it, or a stew. You could do tons of stuff with it. Make potato cakes, all kinds of stuff. So we like having instant mashed potatoes around for those times, for something quick or to fill in somewhere, and it's a great belly filler, definitely. And the next thing that I got was white rice. You can only get a 1-pound bag for 88 cents, which is not the cheapest way to buy rice. But if you are going for under $1, this is what you can get. Just plain old white rice, 1 pound. If you buy the 20-pound bags, they are definitely way cheaper per pound. You're going to save a lot of money because they are only about 50 cents a pound that way when you buy the 20-pound bag. The next thing I got was mac and cheese. This is another great one if you add in some ground turkey or burger or anything like that. Whatever you have for meat, this works out really nicely. You can make a decent meal with it. A lot of kids just like it just as it is out of the box, or you can add to it. You could put a veggie in it. You could do all kinds of stuff, definitely. And then we also were able to get a pound of brown rice. Our store doesn't carry big, huge bags of brown rice. I think the biggest one is 5 pounds. So, so this isn't a horrible deal, but it's not bad. Under $1 still. Pack that pantry. Everything you can. The next thing is linguine. They had a couple of different pastas that you could get for under $1 on the Great Value brand. None of the other brands were under $1, and they're, you know, some of them almost $2 a pound, which is crazy. And you got to watch your boxes because a lot of them are going down to 12 ounces. A lot have definitely dropped over the last year or so. Also, thin spaghetti was another one. So we could get those two, and I think elbow macaroni was also 98 cents a pound. So that's good. You can definitely make quite a few meals from these items and get meals started. So then we've got some other stuff over here. I also found, let's see, the original taco seasoning, only 42 cents. This is great in rice. It's great on pasta. It's great on all kinds of stuff. You can do tons of stuff with these seasonings, and just having a bunch on hand can really switch up your meals. If you did beans and rice plain, that you can do that. You could do it with taco seasoning. That switches it up. It makes it a whole new meal, and it's actually quite delicious with some seasoning in there. And you can change it different every day and have the same thing but different with different seasoning. So seasoning is huge. You want to make sure you have plenty. Most of your stuff, most of your pantry foods are quite bland on their own. The next thing I got is a package of ranch seasoning, the dry mix. This is wonderful on chicken, in salads. You can make your dressing with it. You can just add mayo to it. Tons of different things you can do with this. We also grabbed some dry Greek seasoning. Again, you can make dressing with it. You can season food with it. Excellent on chicken, good on pork. These can come in so handy, definitely. And these were all about 50 cents a piece for these. And also Italian dressing, the dry. You just have to mix some oil in it, vinegar. Delicious. You've got your dressing ready to go, or you can put it on. It's great. I use make it in a crock pot with chicken and noodles, and it's just delicious. And next is the ramen noodles. These are definitely not the most nutritious, but they will fill your belly. We don't love the seasoning. You can chuck that out. You can give it away. You can do whatever with it. Put it in something else. It is flavoring if you do like it. We like to add veggies, a little freeze-dried meat or leftover meat or anything like that to make a soup with these noodles. So they are still really useful, even if you don't love the ramen stuff that comes with it, the little flavor packets. So these are still great. And for 36 cents a piece, it's a good belly filler. You can add to it some whatever you have, which is nice. I love adding all kinds of stuff. Also, the little instant cup of soup. These are a little bit more. You can't get the seasoning out, but they're simple and easy for those quick emergency meals. And the next thing I got was a couple boxes of the Jell-O. These, you can add your fruit, your canned fruits to these. They work out really nice if you have canned oranges or canned pineapple, or you can do mixed fruit in them. It gives you that little easy treat that you can have in the pantry for really inexpensive. I think these were around 50 cents. I can't really remember right off the top of my head, but right around 50 cents. They were pretty cheap. And yellow mustard was the only condiment I could find under $1. I would love to know if you got how you guys are doing on condiments, the price of them. Ours are just so stinking expensive around here. And mustard, this tiny bottle of mustard was it for under $1. It was 60 cents. And everything else was way over $1. And you couldn't get even tiny bottles of stuff, which I was kind of surprised they didn't have smaller ones, but that's what it is. And then for meats, I was able to get a couple of meats under $1. Not much, and it's limited. But I grabbed this Armour potted meat. These are about 70 cents, and these are great for sandwiches. Add some mayonnaise, you know, pickles, whatever you like. Make like a ham salad with it. You can do that. Those are wonderful for that. There's enough in here for about 2 sandwiches. And then also the Vienna sausages. I know they're not for everybody, but you can open it and eat it. It's instant food, and it's good to have those kinds of things on the shelf. And the next thing is hot dog chili sauce. I picked up one of these. This was the only chili that I could find, and this does not have much meat in it. It's mostly all sauce, but there's a little bit of meat in there, so you do get a little bit of protein. So you could definitely add to this, add it into something else, put it in your mac and cheese, do all kinds of stuff with it. So that's the great thing about these little small things. They're great to mix up your meals and just add a little bit of this to something else, a little bit of that. And if you only have a little bit left over, you can take a can of something and throw it in. We really love to mix things up. And the other thing, they had a few different packages of these different flavorings, but I got the just the little packs of tuna in the bag. I could not get a single can of tuna under $1. So at Walmart, and our local grocery store is more than Walmart, but we don't have a whole bunch of choices. So we have the Dollar Tree, Hannaford, Walmart. That's it. But this was the cheapest as far as a pack of tuna. And it's not very big. I think it is 2.6 ounces. So it's like half the size of a can. But this will make you a sandwich or flake it on top of a salad or whatever. Put a couple packets in a casserole and you could make like a tuna casserole. So there's still a bunch of options you could do with that. And you could get a bunch of different flavors of the Great Value brand. So, and then on the gravy, all our store had was chicken gravy in a can, and all the cans were dented. So you definitely want to watch that. Make sure your cans, if they're dented, you want to use those first. You don't want them sitting because that weakens it. And also these pull tops. I don't love these pull tops. I try to get solid cans because they're going to last longer. They have a thicker top on them. But because these are really thin in that spot where it tears, where you just slide it open. So these are not going to last quite as long as your regular cans, but they'll still last for a good long time in your pantry, well past the best by date. So I'm not hugely concerned about those, but if I can get it without the pull top, I do. And then watch those dents also. You want to make sure the can is intact. And your best by dates, I found a few things in the store that was way too close. A lot of the milk I noticed today it has a best by date by tomorrow. So unfortunately, no one wants to buy that milk. So, and things like that. But we're seeing a lot of that in the grocery store. You really have to watch the dates and check your dents on cans and things like that. And then I was able to find some stuffing. This would be great to add to a meal. It's great on the top of a casserole. If you're doing some kind of chicken casserole, stuffing makes a great topper if you don't have cheese, breadcrumbs, whatever you have. But this will work. It's a great belly filler. I love stuffing. Makes me think of Thanksgiving. And then I was able to get a small can of green chilies. We love to take like half a can, throw it in with some rice, some tomato sauce. You know, you can throw some corn in there, make a little Mexican type rice, something like that. So we like to keep these on the shelf, and they were under $1. So that is another good thing to have. Also, they had some diced jalapenos, so I grabbed a can of those. Just a little bit different, mixing things up will definitely help in your pantry. And then they had some red enchilada sauce. I have not tried this Great Value one. I only picked up one of these because I want to try it. I usually buy Old El Paso. If any of you have tried this, could you tell me how it is? Is it good? I've never tried the Great Value one, but we're going to give it a shot because it's way cheaper than the other name brand things in the store. So got to try it at least and see if we like it. If we do, then we'll definitely stock up. The next thing is a couple of instant meals. Now, the like Chef Boyardee, those are great to have on the shelf. You can open it, eat it. You don't have to heat it up. But all of those are well over $1. So we got, they only had 2 with meat in them in our store. And it was the macaroni with tomato and beef sauce, which is like beefaroni, I think it is. And so it doesn't have a whole lot of meat in there, but there's a little something in there. So at least you're getting some protein. And they also had spaghetti, rings, pasta, and meatballs. So, and the only other one that was under $1 was just the plain rings with no meat in it. So I like to get the ones with meat if I'm going to buy that kind of thing. That way it at least got some protein in it. We're going to need that in an emergency. And then soups are extremely limited, under $1. I was able to find condensed tomato soup and also a condensed chicken noodle soup, and that was it for under $1 for soups that you just eat. And then also the cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. I don't eat these as soups. Usually I use them to add into casseroles and to add flavor to meals and things like that, make things saucy. But you could eat these as just a soup. There's not much meat in that chicken one, maybe I don't know, 1/16 of an ounce if you added it all together. But the cream mushroom, both of them, they're really good for flavoring and to add to meals. If I had a little bit of beef, I would use some noodles and some cream of mushroom soup. You can mix that together, maybe a can of mushrooms if you have that, and you could make kind of like a stroganoff type thing. All kinds of stuff you can do, really. And then black beans. I love to have black beans in the house. We love those. And you could do so much with it. Dark red kidney beans, we also love those. And navy beans. Again, our store didn't have a huge selection on the types of beans, but it was just the plain beans. None of the baked beans or anything like that were under $1. So I just grabbed 3 that we would use. And I think they also had pinto beans in the can, but I don't normally buy those, so because they're not my thing, but they did have them. And then the next thing is diced potatoes. These little diced up ones are wonderful for home fries and things like that. Just cut up an onion, pepper, or if you've got them frozen, chuck it on a pan. Delicious. And then sweet peas. We love peas for all kinds of casseroles. Peas have a one of the higher proteins in them. It has 3 grams of protein per serving, and there's 3.5 servings in here. So a lot of your vegetables have a little bit, well, they all have a little bit of protein in there, but peas seem to have the highest for what I can find in the grocery stores. So I usually make sure we have plenty of peas. Also, green beans were really inexpensive. These were 50 cents a can, I believe. And whole corn. They did not have any canned carrots in our store. Spinach was way over $1. Most of the stuff you cannot get under $1 anymore, but I was able to get those 4 vegetables. So that's good to add in. And I have just a few more here, which is tomato paste. And, you know, the organic was cheaper than the regular. So, you know, get whatever you like, really. But this was about 4 cents cheaper than the regular tomato paste, and organic obviously is good as well. And then the smaller cans of tomato sauce, the 15-ounce can, none of the 28-ounce cans are available under $1 anymore in my area. If you can find them, let us know. I know this varies a lot for regions and where you live and things like that. Different places, they cost different prices. I know just going to the next Walmart, which is about 25 miles from us, 25 miles, that Walmart, their prices are completely different than our local Walmart. So a lot of time they'll be a little under, a little over, and it varies so much. Even the same store in different places, it's crazy. And the last thing that I got was diced tomatoes with green peppers, onions, and celery. So that was good. Rotel was way over the $1 mark. So there is still a decent variety of things that you can get under $1. Not as much as you used to be able to get, but getting your pantry as full as possible right now. And a lot of these, if you add them with something else, they're going to make great meals for you and your family, and you can really mix things up. I think that is so important. Food fatigue is a problem when you're having to eat the same thing over and over again, especially if you are getting down to rice and beans and you're having it 3-4 nights a week. It gets old real fast. So spices are important, and just being able to add in a can of diced tomatoes and corn into some rice and beans can really dress it up and make it so much more, make it taste so much better. So definitely having all these little teeny things. I mean, they're just small, they're still pretty inexpensive, but getting them on the shelf can help you and your family. So that is it for today. And I would love to hear if there are other things that you can get for $1. Definitely put it in the comments down below. It really helps people. I may not be able to find it, but some of you may be able to find things that are still under $1 that are a really great deal. I mean, I couldn't even get a can of sardines today with that dollar limit. It was just no way. So I would love to hear the things that you can get under $1. That would be wonderful and very helpful for everybody. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.